I got no hook for this one. It's just a really, really basic best ball team. But I think it's pretty good. Let me know what you think after I run the ad. This video is sponsored by DraftKings. The Draft One, Get One promotion is still going on, so make sure you take advantage. I'll be back with you in a minute to look at the team. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft One, Get One. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft One, Get One. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, so we're drafting from the 111. I get Nico Collins in the first round. Very basic. Second round, I was going to go Devin Achane for a little bit of a unique start for me. Devin Achane goes at the 2.1, so I went with Drake London. Sometimes I go with Brock Bowers there. Sometimes I go with Brian Thomas Jr. there. This time I went with Drake London. Still not that unique. That's a pretty common pairing, I think, Nico Collins and Drake London. We come back around to my turn. I did get George Kittle in the third round after Bowers and McBride went. Right around ADP, nothing fancy about it. I was making the decision here between Kittle, Hall, and Omari Hampton. Those are the 3 players that I was seriously considering. I decided to go with Kittle because I didn't really care which of the running backs I got. I figured I'm more excited about Omari and Hampton. Breece Hall, maybe the more prudent pick, maybe the more, better projected pick. So I went with Kittle to let the turn decide which of the running backs I take. He chose for me. He went with Hampton, so I got Hall in the 4th round. Kind of the same exact scenario in the 5th round. I was hoping for one of these receivers to fall. None of them fell to me. So, I got receiver the first 2 rounds, decided to keep going on this run with running backs. I was debating between James Conner, RJ Harvey, and Travion Henderson. I figured I'll take the vet and let the turn again decide for me which of the rookies I get. He went with Travion Henderson. I went with RJ Harvey, player that I like quite a bit in DraftKings Best Ball. I think could rack up a ton of receptions this year. So I'm happy with the way this is going. There's nothing special about it, but I'm pretty happy with the team anyway. Getting a lot of players that I really like. In the 7th round, pick 83, Jordan Addison. He's falling a little bit right now with the suspension, but this isn't too far outside of his range. Ricky Pearsall goes to 84. I guess I could have gone with Pearsall there. It was kind of, I don't know. I like them both about the same. I've taken a lot more Addison. Maybe I should have taken Pearsall. Also on the pup right now. I don't think that means anything. I think he's just going to be activated at any moment, but it was a surprise. So he's fallen a little bit. Who knows? At 86, I go with Tony Pollard, one of my favorite picks in this range. I think he's going to be a starting running back who's going pretty late on a team that may be improving a little bit this year. So I like Tony Pollard. I think it's a good pick. I now have 4 running backs, 3 receivers, and a tight end through 8 rounds. Nothing fancy about it. Now, it got a little bit interesting here. After I go Pollard, see a little bit of a run on quarterbacks. Kyler Murray goes at 92, Fields at 100, Purdy, Prescott, Drake May, Caleb Williams. So now I'm kind of feeling the pinch a little bit, like maybe I need to take a quarterback. I didn't have any great stacks set up for right here. I also kind of wanted a receiver. All of the receivers that I liked had gone. So I decided to reach up for Trey Harris, about a round of a reach for Trey Harris. I don't really mind that. I believe in the talent. He's actually another rookie that I like quite a bit. So I figured I'd set up the Trey Harris, Justin Herbert stack. That's exactly what I did. A little bit of a reach on both of them, but given the quarterback run and not that many outs for me, I decided to go with it. I could have gone with JJ McCarthy. I totally missed that JJ McCarthy was just there to take when I had Jordan Addison already. But happy to get this stack. And also I was thinking I can take Justin Herbert and then get either of CJ Stroud or JJ McCarthy at the next turn. I think that's what I was thinking. The 2 week 6 buys, McCarthy and Stroud, both set up. My dream was that McCarthy might come back to me But he didn't. CJ Stroud did, though. So now I've got 2 quarterbacks. I'm feeling good at this point with both Herbert and Stroud. And then finally, I add Penix to my Drake May. Now I've got 3 quarterbacks, feeling great after the 12th round. Nobody too far from ADP. A little bit of a reach on this combo, but otherwise, pretty much getting players right around ADP. In the 13th round, Kyle Pitts, not a player that I'm super in on this year. I know he's still somewhat polarizing, but I'll take him when I've got a Michael Penix stack. So I go with Pitts here. Tyler Algier moving on to that Atlanta stack as well. Full on. Now I've got 4 Atlanta players on the team. Looking pretty good to me. 15th round, I was considering Elijah Arroyo here. I've talked about him quite a bit in these videos today. I think he's a pretty solid value right now, although I did get ahead of myself a little bit. I don't think he's going to move up quite as much as I initially thought. And the 15th round, right before me, Sam Darnold went. So I figured this drafter may be setting up a Sam Darnold stack. I sort of figured if I wanted him, I would need to take him around this turn. But I was pretty behind at receiver and already had 2 tight ends, including George Kittle. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to sacrifice Elijah Arroyo here. He apparently is not moving up as quickly as I thought he would. I need some receivers. Happy to get Pop Douglas and Jalen Noel onto the Houston stack, throwing him in addition to CJ Stroud there. And there's still a chance that would make it back to me, but sure enough, the 17th round, the Sam Darnold drafted with that Arroyo stack. I added Darius Slayton, needed a receiver, pretty strong late round receiver there. Jackson Dart goes with the next pick. I didn't really need it. I already have 3 quarterbacks, so that's fine. I go with Dalton Schultz again, adding on to that Houston stack. Not a tight end I'm super high on, but I think he's a fine tight end when you've got CJ Stroud. So I drafted him. In the 19th round, Jordan James. Didn't have any of the other San Francisco rookies. I know I think Davis has a role that he wants to have. Maybe it's not Davis. Somebody has a role that they want to have a San Francisco running back on just about every team. I don't do that, but I do think they're pretty good bets. So Jordan James in the 19th round. Wanted to add on a late running back. I think he fit the team. And then finally, Tutu Atwell at pick 230. Talked about him in the last video I did. I just think he's a really strong pick in the late rounds based on the coach speak and based on his yards per route run last year. Like the coaches saw how good he was from a yards per route run perspective last year. I think they're going to reward him this year based on the coach speak. So as a 20th round pick, I think he is a pretty strong one. So the final team is a 3-6-8-3. Again, very basic, probably my most common structure, 3-6-8-3. We've got Nico Collins, Drake London, George Kittle, Breece Hall, James Conner, RJ Harvey, Jordan Addison, Tony Pollard, Trey Harris, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, Michael Penix, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, Pop Douglas, Jalen Noel, Darius Slayton, Dalton Schultz, Jordan James, and Tutu Atwell. Again, also adding on to the game stack there where I've got a ton of Atlanta. So another good reason to get Tutu Atwell onto the team. Nothing special about this one. I basically got players at their ADPs. It's a very basic structure. Drafted a lot of different positions early on. Really just a very, very basic team, but I like it. I think it's a strong enough team, could advance to the playoffs, and if it gets there, I think it has a shot to do some damage. So let me know what you think of the team. This is the final one of these short video reviews that I'm going to do today. So let me know, did you enjoy these? Should I do more of these short videos? I enjoy doing them. 6 in one day was a bit much, but in general, I enjoy doing them. So let me know if you would like to see more of them. Let me know what you think of the team. And of course, if you would not mind, I would appreciate it if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And of course, if you want to get notifications when I go live or post something, hit that little notification bell as well. All right, that is the end of my content for this DraftKings Best Ball Week, but plenty more content to come. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.